Hello, my name is Josh Atkinson, and once again, you found your way to my portrait painting YouTube channel. We are obviously doing a horror theme today. We've got such sights to show you. Now, I'm mixing franchises. Today, we are doing 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street, but we are doing OG Freddy. This is not the Freddy that you know from commercials and media. This is not Freddy from part three, four, five. I love that Freddy, but this is from a still frame of the original from '84, and this is when he's creepy and chopping his fingers off and green slime's popping out. And I just wanted to do that Freddy before I move on to quippier, jokier Freddy. Anyway, blah blah blah. Time for the time lapse. So here is the source image still frame. And now for the time lapse. I don't know why I did an accent. I don't know nothing. So as always, I am beginning with my Andrew Loomis circle. The line indicating the direction of the eyes is a tiny bit down because his head is directed a tiny bit down. He's looking down at Tina, I believe. That was my impersonation. It didn't go well. I didn't practice it. Don't judge me. Um, doing the brim of the hat. As always, I like to get that space between the eyes and eyebrows, the top of the nose. I like to get that clarified because for me, everything kind of comes clear after that. Like I can look at everything in proportion to that center of the human face or the monster face. This one, I know I had a bit of a, I think I guess I did not accomplish what I just said about getting the proportions in that center part of the face between the eyes perfect. I think at the end of the time lapse, you'll see that I move um, his right eye a little closer, or maybe it was a little further. I can't remember. But there's his snarl. You gotta love a painting that's lit from below. It's just inherently evocative of horror. Um, gotta love high contrast. Well, I don't know. I love high contrast. A lot of painters on YouTube seem to resist it tremendously, but I'm all about it. It's a gorgeous, vivid blue. This background is gray, which is what a lot of painters prefer to do, like have a toned background because I don't know, I guess because they find that painting on white means that they don't have such a clear view of the values of the paint that they're putting down. I don't really feel that way. It doesn't make much of a difference at all for me to paint on a gray background or a white background or a pink background. I mean, at some point, if you're painting, you know, not anything, but if you're painting, whatever you're painting is going to have a lot of colors in it. If you're implementing complementary color theory, then, you know, you're gonna have, even if you're painting something red, then you're gonna use green to make the shadow tone. You know, yellow, purple, blue, orange. It's all kind of straightforward. So at some point, basically every color ends up in a painting. Um, so I just don't get bothered by the white. Because, like, what if I was painting like a still life of onions on a white sheet? Well, then there'd be a lot of white to fight with. I don't know. I'm rambling. But if you've subscribed to my channel, you're used to that by now, and you find um, a value in it, maybe a noisy ASMR value. Maybe you find it very comforting. Whatever. I'm just enjoying painting. I put a little bit of, even though in the source image, the still frame from the '84 Nightmare on Elm Street, his sweater is just black. Like when I looked at the source image with my own eyeballs, um, there was a warmth to it, so I put a lot of red down with the black, which again is not really black. It's ultramarine blue mixed with burnt umber. Uh, in this case, it would be more ultramarine than burnt umber because it's a very cool toned, there's the back the blue background, but also I think having the quote unquote blacks, the shadows, be cooler rather than warmer makes his warm, in fact burnt face pop even better. Are you a fan of A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original? Leave a comment below. Please, God, leave a comment below. I would really love to answer questions instead of prattling on. Who am I kidding? I love prattling. But so yeah, I'm just needed to reinforce the outline of his shadow because it was there. And just sort of I like painting horror things. I've said this in other videos. When I'm painting something horrific, um, I don't worry so much about getting pristine, thin paint that's perfectly blended. I can use more impasto. I can use more texture of any variety. Um, I can layer more textures on top of more textures, and I can kind of just drop almost an unmixed, uh, not a cadmium red, but maybe like an Indian red mixed into his skin tone. Or here, like a lot of yellow ochre going into the rusty metal apparatus that forms his glove. When I was a kid, well, when I was a kid, I was watching things that most kids don't get to watch when I was like 5 and 6, and I coveted Freddy Krueger's um, glove. I don't know what I thought I was gonna do, take it to fourth grade and talk to the lunch lady or something. I don't know. But I just wanted it. It just seemed so cool. I lightened the blue background. Again, I always say this in almost every video, but I went with phthalo blue instead of ultramarine because it just seems so much more rich. And you can see that there's some streaks in it. I did that on purpose. I love leaving it that way. It gives it much more atmosphere, which is what you want in a painting of a horror character. So here you can see me doing what I was talking about earlier, trying to figure out what was not lining up about the likeness. So the eye was just a little too far, and I guess it was the left eye, not the right eye, was a little too far away from the other eye, so I brought it in closer, and that kind of clicked it into place. Again, this isn't really meant to look like the makeup design of Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger in part 345. This is the original. It's a little more, how would I describe it? A little more suggested. Like there wasn't a whole lot of bright light on Freddy in the first two because they were trying to keep him spooky. But I love spooky Freddy. I love silly Freddy. I'm a fan. And here is the final painting. 8 by 12-inch oil painting. So that is the time lapse. I hope you got something out of it. As always, I hesitate to phrase this as a tutorial. This is how I painted Freddy Krueger. This is not the definitive way to paint Freddy Krueger. And yeah, I hope you leave a comment and a like, and I hope you subscribe, and I hope you share, and I hope you have a really blessed day, and that you don't have um, nightmares. All right, see you next Monday. Thanks for watching. Bye.